What are some of the I can't believe they did it that you've seen? Because I'm sure there are a few good stories of I can't believe they tried that or something like that.
Well, one time,
Fine.
because Amazon handles all of our returns too,
Right.
and if an item is returned and then we can't, Amazon looks at it and says, "Is this new?" And
Yeah.
if it looks like it's still new, they just throw it back into inventory. If it looks like it could have been damaged or opened or something, they'll mark it as such, pull it out of inventory, and we have to get it sent back to us. And it's not expensive. I think it's like 50 cents
Huh.
to have an item sent back. Well, one time I had a vacuum cleaner come back and I said, man, this box is really, really light. And I opened it up and it was nothing but the attachments. They had taken the whole canister, the internal part of the vacuum, and sent it back to Amazon and said it was defective. Amazon did reimburse me for that
Uh-huh. Good.
because they should have accepted a return. I mean, it was obvious that the box didn't weigh but like a third of what it should have.
Right, right. So one of the things as someone new, of course, is the shock of getting returns and so forth. What would you say to somebody like that so that they can develop the muscle? In eBay, I tell them when I was teaching eBay, I go, just think of the risk of having a brick and mortar and setting all that up, and then someone still either steals from right out of your store or robs you. So there's some risk of loss in
Yeah.
anything you do, and somehow that's kind of tough for people. I say
Oh,
develop the muscle where, okay, it happened, let's move on.
yeah. I see a lot of that, especially in the Facebook groups. People be saying, "Oh, well, what should I do with this customer? Because they're trying to beat me out of this, and it's like $5."
Right.
It's like refund the customer and move on, because your time is worth more than that. Uh, just like with the brick and mortar store, you look at not individual things, but more of rates. You're going to get a certain number of returns. There'll be a certain number of returns that aren't sellable. When you look at the inventory as a large portfolio, that tends to be relatively small. And if it's in the same area, then the problem might be with you and your product, not necessarily with the customer. If you get a whole lot of returns of a particular type of blender, chances are there's probably something wrong with that type of blender, and you just need to sell something else. For us, we get more returns now because we've moved more into shoes and clothing.
Uh-huh.
uh, I personally would have a hard time buying shoes online.
Yeah.
I just rather go down the line and keep trying on until I find something that fits. But just like in a shoe store, people think they know their size. They take it off the shelf. They try it on. It doesn't fit. They put it back on the shelf. If you're selling shoes on Amazon, they'll order it. They'll try it on. If it doesn't fit, they send it back. So in those areas, you get a higher return rate. But it's just part of doing business. It's a cost of doing business. And most of those returns just go right back in and can be sold again.
Well, thanks for the time, and
You're welcome.
really good to have you on the show. And we'll put some comments below. And of course, I love when people leave comments and share the shows with people if you find it useful. And let me know what else you're doing. But this completes this show. And Randy, great to have you.
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.